she did an interview with a outlet where she was essentially speaking about her time on the Breakfast Club, and this is what she said.
Because you were the lone woman on this show with a lot of bravado, with a lot of edge, disruptive, and that's why millions of people love the show. It seemed to me that people were always riding you.
Yeah, and I was the only woman who worked there too. I mean, when it came to producers, camera people, and it wasn't an easy room for me
I
to
didn't
be
know
in.
that.
So I feel like I did need more like backup, because even things that I felt as
The lone woman, because you were the
Hold on, here's the next part.
a woman, it is, if somebody can't understand your point of view because they're not coming from where you come from. And so that was hard for me too, to be the only woman there with nobody to be like, check somebody, you shouldn't have said that like that. It's just me. And there were times I did do that behind the scenes because, we should be able to do that. That's part of what it is. I'm not always going to agree. But it's hard when nobody's like, you know what, she's right. Or let's all have a conversation about this. It's just kind of like you say what you say, and then a woman, it is, if some.
So she said that Envy ran up in the comments and said that's just not true. There are plenty of women that work behind the scenes on the Breakfast Club. After they posted this, a few other people chimed in. Lil Duval said, "Yeah, strong black woman too." Lil Mama jumped in to say, "Oh please," she was up there playing foul games too. She has helped made multiple women of color, especially, feel like the only woman in the room numerous of times. And also Erica Mena jumped in because if you don't know, Erica Mena used to be DJ Envy's side chick. She said, "Is this the same woman who helped DJ Shrimp, which is Envy, play along, living his double life once upon a time? One of the few at the time that actually knew the truth about him being married, because the truth is for years he never openly acknowledged that, which is why I was one of the many he was with. She used to be hanging with us knowing I was absolutely unaware that he was indeed married, but still joined in with him fabricating this cry wolf scenario on the radio so he could save face in his broken marriage. The same woman that spoke about my child on air just to help him degrade me. The fucking nerve, boy, do things come full circle." Um, I give a real quick opinion on this. Here's just the thing, man. What Angela Yee got to realize is that, listen, Angela Yee, you see, whether it's you, Charlemagne, even DJ Envy, whether it's Star, whether it's Wendy Williams, like, again, I've included myself in there. Yo, we're coming from a type of content where we gave it up. And when you give it up, you can't be like, oh, nobody's here to defend me. You get what I mean? So, Angela Yee, no matter what you believe, you were part of the Breakfast Club, and the Breakfast Club took the culture by storm because the Breakfast Club gave it up. Now, here's the thing. We're not going to separate you on the Breakfast Club from Charlemagne and Envy, because here's the thing. Even if you want to say, oh, Charlemagne was wilding by himself, it's what brought y'all ratings. You get what I mean? And if it didn't help you, you'd have left. So, you can't now be like, oh, whatever. When you was rocking and you was part of the Breakfast Club, you got to embrace all the great that came with it, and y'all was syndicated in every place and every how, and y'all was getting bonuses and bonuses because y'all was so lit. But you know what that was partly the byproduct of? Charlemagne getting at people, embarrassing people, making some women feel whatever they claim they felt. And you were there, and you was a byproduct of that. You know what I mean? You enjoyed the fruits of the labor of that. And if you did disagree, you know what I mean? You didn't disagree with the checks you were getting. So again, my thing is, that's something I don't think that needed to be commented on. Obviously, she's telling her story, and I can understand what she's saying, because it probably was tough, like, if she wanted to do different things, if she was the only woman versus two men. I think she was definitely talking about the host. I know there's black women that work behind the scenes, but if we're talking about the host, she's the only woman of color. My only thing is that you've enjoyed it. You get what I mean? Like, I would say, and with all due respect, I speak on something that's a little bit more, that I could relate to. Like, say, say everyday struggle. It was me, Joe, and Nadeska. I had a list of people who didn't like me. Joe had a list of people who didn't like him. A lot of people like Nadeska, but did Nadeska at times probably, get put in positions or people would like blame her because she would be out to industry mixy events that me and Joe wouldn't blame her for what everyday struggle may have said about them when she didn't say it. Yeah, but am I gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry, Nadeska? No, like, bro, that came with a program. You were rocking with us. Like, we a team. Like, when we putting out this content, we all a team. You feel me? So, like, to keep it real, like, let me be very clear. Like, yeah, I love the Migos this and third, but if Joe didn't do that shit with the Migos, we would have never had that viral moment. You feel me? Same thing with any other artist. This is how it is. So it's like, yeah, maybe you didn't agree all the time, but like, bro, you're part of the content brand that's putting it out. So, again, if you ask me, this kind of opened up a can of worms that I hope doesn't go further. Angela Yee clearly seems like she was trying to express that she wasn't happy, at least of recent times, with her being at the Breakfast Club. Now, here's the thing, and this is why I say it's going to put her in a pickle. The Breakfast Club is the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is still popping. Again, no disrespect to anybody there, but, Charlemagne to Beyonce. So, Charlemagne's still going to give it up, even though people thought he's toned it down, this and 30s, PC now. Some people call him PC to God. Charlemagne's he's still the guy. He's a radio legend. At the end of the day, he's a radio fucking legend. And he's going to do enough that the Breakfast Club is going to continue as long as he wants to. And that's the important part. As long as Charlemagne wants to, the Breakfast Club will still live. Cool. So they're going to make enough waves, they're going to still be around. What this has done now to Angela Yee is put a microscope on her new venture to say, well, you left them because you weren't happy, right? Let's see what you got going on, and let's see if this shit's gonna pop. I think that's an unfair, unfair pressure that's put on her, but that's what people are gonna put on her because of some of these comments. I don't think she aimed to be negative. I think she thought she was in an environment where, she's talking from one woman to another, and she thought that she could have that type of angle, but clearly her co-host just wasn't going for it. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? They were talking a lot more about, like, she said she would feel like she would be blamed for things that Charlamagne and others did. Well, you got to think about this. Bro, it comes with when you don't get to be the Breakfast Club, or you don't get to be Wendy Williams if everybody likes you. You probably stirred up some shit. It's the reason why niggas was swinging on Charlamagne. It's the reason why Birdman was coming up there like, yo, listen, I could have got you touched before because I knew a couple of places you was at. It's the reason why people been asking Charlamagne, like, basically like Fredo Starr wilded out on him. It's the reason why Beanie Siegel wilded out. That's part of the job. You get what I mean? Now, again, if you're going to be about it, you got to be about it. Because I ain't going to lie to you. Like, I was watching the whole shit where, what's shorty named K. Michelle was like going in on Angela Yee. And in situations like that, I was watching this recently with a bunch of people, and there were women in the room, and they say, yo, do you believe that Charlamagne and them should have stepped in? I'm like, nah. Bro, y'all a messy group. Like, this is a girl thing. You got to be able to know when to handle yourself. I remember when the whole thing happened with Russ and Nadeska, and then people were like, yo, Ak, why didn't you jump in? And I'm like, man, when I taking my licks, do I look at everybody to jump in? Bro, it's part of the job. That's why we hot. It's part of the job. It's the reason why you get paid millions. Like nobody, yo, chat, don't be feeling sad for me when these rappers say fuck me. I'm making millions of dollars clowning these bitch ass niggas. I don't give two fucks. So all I'm trying to say is that, Angela Yee, you are privileged that you worked on one of the hottest shows for the last 10, 15 years. And yes, it probably did come with certain things because you were one of the only women. Well, you're the only woman on camera. But maybe sometimes you did feel targeted because Charlamagne ain't going out to all these mixed events you probably would be at. And Envy just in the clubs DJing, trying to get money for him and his kids. So maybe you did feel targeted. But, yo, at the end of the day, you got to deal with it. It's the reason why the show is hot. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, salute to Angela Yee, and hopefully her new venture goes good. And of course, salute to the Breakfast Club, the current Breakfast Club, which is just Charlemagne and Envy. They're doing their thing. I was very happy that they brought me up there too. Okay, cool. By the way, I would love to hear what Charlemagne has to say about this. I don't think he's responded yet. Nor have I, this looked like some inner thing. I wouldn't call him, ask him about this type of gossip shit. But it's all good. All right. Let me see. I ain't gonna lie, man. I think I fucking hit everything in the. I feel like I hit everything. What did I miss? Y'all tell me what I missed. I know I haven't done the officer thing yet. I'm leaving that for tomorrow because I need topics for tomorrow. And usually Monday is a bigger day, like in media, than Sunday. Grand Wizard is fucking sending me everything to make sure I know that Drake do not